Greetings of the day, dear students. This session will make you from learners to data scientist or data analyst. So I have named this as Community Data Science Challenge, which means from raw data, you are going to make smart decisions, which means you are going to collect, clean, analyze, visualize, and interpret. That's you are going to transform the data into decisions. So normally, why we are learning data science? Because data science helps us to understand data and use it to make better decisions in our daily lives. Look around you. We see Netflix, Amazon, Google Maps, Instagram, Swiggy, and healthcare. Everything recommends something to you. It suggests some products to you. It predicts the traffic. It recommends posts, reels, and the delivery time. Everything it recommends. In all these things, there is something common that we call it as data. So this data helps organizations make informed and smart decisions. And that is what we are also going to deal with. So after this session, what you are going to get it? What is the outcome? We don't just learn what is data science, but we are going to experience it. We are able to identify the real world problems. We can collect and organize data effectively. We can identify whatever the data we have collected, in which format, in which data type it is, and we can perform the data pre-processing to improve its quality, and we can conduct exploratory data analysis, and we can create meaningful visualizations effect, and we can interpret it, and we can present it, and we can work collaboratively to make critical decisions. So this helps us to turn the data into decisions together. And now, what is data science? It's a process of collecting, cleaning, analyzing, visualizing, and interpreting data to solve real world problems, and that supports us to take decisions. So it combines multiple disciplines. Here we have mathematics, that we need to provide logics and tools to understand the data, and statistics in collection and analysis, and all those things. We have statistics and programming because we need to build models, we need to build some solutions, and domain knowledge, understanding the subject area to ask the right questions, and the communication, conveying results or providing insights very clearly. Suppose we have in a college, we want to know why all students are scoring less marks in mathematics. So we collect data, we analyze it, we identify the patterns, and we recommend solutions. So that will be for the better decisions. So now the thing is how the data science make its life cycle possible to take these better decisions. So first of all, we need to identify the problem. So defining the real world problem clearly only will make us to collect the data. So we need to understand the object. We have to define the goals, what problem we need to solve. Then we have to collect the data, the relevant data that is suitable for the particular problem. We can use any sources, primary sources or secondary sources, to collect the data. And then we need to clean the data with which are having errors and missing values and duplicates. We need to clean this data, and then we need to put it for the pre-processing, where we organize, we transform for effective analysis. We will use normalization, encoding categorical data, and feature selection. And then we put it for exploratory data analysis. There we understand the pattern, trends, and relationships, and then we visualize whatever we have found using the exploratory data analysis into charts, graphs, and dashboards. Then we get from this some understanding, then we interpret it, we draw meaningful conclusions from that. From this we make decisions, use insights to make the informed and smart decisions from the interpretation, and that we monitor it and we evaluate it for the further development or for further future usage. And this one will lead us to take the first step as problem identification. So here it's a question comes, how we are going to identify the problem. So for example, some real world problem if you want to take. Does mobile usage affect academic performance? What factors affect attendance? Like that, we need to take a real world problems, and that problem should be measurable, should have sufficient data, and it must help the society. And then it will be leading us to proceed with this data science life cycle. So some of the tips to identify good problems. Look around your community and observe. Talk to the people. Understand their challenges. Choose a problem that interests your group. Ensure the problem is relevant or impactful. In that way only we can identify whether this problem is really suitable for this particular community. Really this is a real problem or not. Then you have to collect the data. So in this, if you are not collecting the proper data, we cannot put it for analysis. We cannot find out the pattern and we cannot come into conclusion. So how we can collect the data? In two formats. One is primary data, another one is secondary data. So primary data we directly collect from the source. For example, using Google Forms, survey, interview or questionnaires. And the secondary data is which are already existing sources. Maybe Google or government websites, WHO, USA repository or other sources which are already existing. From this we collect the data for our pre-process and other things. So now we need to understand after collecting the data what type of data we have collected, because so many different kinds of data we have. So we have to categorize it. We have to make it into classifications. So here we have some kind of data types. The first one is numerical data, where numbers and values that can be measured. Example, age, salary, height, weight, all those things. And the next one is categorical data that represents categories or labels. It can be gender, department, city. So everything as labels or categories. Then we have continuous data. They take within a range. It's a continuous value. It's a height or weight or temperature, time, distance, all those things. That will be with decimal numbers. It will be. And discrete data. It is a whole number, a concrete number, which means number of books, number of siblings, number of courses, number of students, 5, 10, 20, like that. So nominal data, they are also categorical data. Then categories with no order is called nominal data. Ordinal data is with the category, which will be with some order, which means poor, average, good, excellent, maximum, minimum, like that. They are called ordinal data. The nominal data, they will be saying about the names or labels. Is a gender, male or female, blood group, department, city. Those are called nominal data. So here is also given you some of the things, how you are going to classify it. So you can pass this and then you can just classify the following: age, department, CGPA, city, income, blood group, and you just divide. This will come under this data. This will come under continuous data. This one will come in the discrete data. Like that, you can identify it. And then what you are going to do is you are going to categorize it, whether it is coming under structured data, semi-structured data or unstructured data. We call this as data sources. So it can come from different kinds of sources. Maybe it is a structured one or unstructured one or semi-structured one. So what do you mean by structured data? So it will be in the fixed formats with rows and columns. In Excel sheets, CSV files or in databases, they store everything in a structured format. The semi-structured one, they don't follow exact structure, but it will also look like a structure only. It will be containing tags or markers like JSON files, XML and EML. So there will be some kind of structures will be there. So we call it as semi-structured, but it's not like exact rows and columns. Unstructured, there is no predefined structure. Whatever we want, we can write it. Whatever images we can add, videos, audio, social media posts, everything will be under unstructured data. So using this data, we also need to collect it. This is very, very important. So when you have identified some problem, You need to use all these methods to collect the data. You can use survey, collecting data by asking questions to many people using Google Form, or directly you can also ask by interviews, collecting data by talking to the interviews. Having one set of questions with you, you can also collect the data. Observation, you just watch them. You record the events and you observe and you collect the data. Then experiments, you do the experiments, you do the programming, and then from that what you get that. Then existing records, already somebody might have done it, and then use that data to get the insights. So these are the methods to collect the data. Then after that, now we are going to put that for the analysis. So this is exploratory data analysis. So before applying any advanced analysis, we have to understand the data. We have to analyze it. For that, we need to use, which means, suppose you have collected this for the students, all those things, you have to ask some questions. How many males and females? Average age, highest mark, relationship between the study hours and CGPA. All those things you just ask to analyze, to understand about the data. So you will identify the patterns. You will identify the relationship between the two variables. You will identify the unusual pattern, that is outliers, that needs you need to understand the particular trend, and you need to change anything if you want. And after that, you will be visualizing that one. Maybe you can use any kind of chart or graph. You are just making all these insights that you have received using this analysis. And then what you are going to do is you are going to use your programming language. So especially now what you are going to using here is matplotlib. So this is a powerful Python library used to create visualization from the data that you have collected, that you have analyzed. So you can use bar chart, pie chart, histogram, scatter plot, box plot, line chart. So like this, any kind of chart you can use according to the data and according to the variables that you have. If you want to compare the categories, you can use bar chart. If you want to show the distribution, you can use pie chart. If you want to use the distribution of continuous data, you can use histogram. And if you want to show the relationship between two variables, scatter plot. And if you want to find out the median or the outliers, you can use box plot. And if you want to show the trends over time, you can use line chart. So in a different way, you can make according to the data you have, what are the relationship you want to make it, want to show it, you can use it. So you have to use your programming and you can create this chart for the data that you have received. So some example data set that I'm going to give you for the student lifestyle survey. So you will be collecting age, gender, department, study hours, CGPA, daily mobile usage, attendance, sleep hours, exercise, stress level. Then you have to identify the data types from the data that you have collected. So it can be numerical or categorical, that is quantitative or qualitative. You can divide it. Then after dividing also you can make it into the general categories, whether it is a structured data or unstructured data or semi-structured data. So here you could see the numerical, age, study hour, CGPA, the categorical, gender, department, all those things. So from that, what you will do is you will identify numerical categorical columns. You understand the nature of each variable and you will analyze and visualize the data, draw meaningful insights from the data, and then you can provide the recommendations to take the decisions. And now, what is the challenge that you're going to do? How you are going to become a data scientist, or how you are going to become a data analyst? So now there is a challenge. One real world problem I'm going to give you. So what you're going to do, you have to complete these 10 steps, then you will be a data scientist or data analyst. So you form 4 to 5 students in a group, select a real world problem, design the Google form, collect at least 100 to 150 response, then download the CSV file, the collected response, then perform this pre-processing, how you are going to clean it, how you want to use encoding, normalization things so that you will remove duplicates, all the other things, and do the exploratory data analysis to discover the pattern. Then put it in chart or graph, whatever thing you want to visualize, and from that you interpret the results. Then you prepare your presentation, and this will make you how you are going to make this data, how you are going to experience a data science life cycle, and that will make you a good analyst or a data scientist. And this is what I want from you. You can use ChatGPT, the use of AI. So where you can use and how you can use to understand the concept, to compare the insights, to improve the interpretation, to learn coding and debugging. You can use a ChatGPT, but not for copying reports, generating fake data, or submit AI written work without understanding, or rely completely on AI. You cannot use ChatGPT. Only for this purpose, you can get the assistant from the ChatGPT and you can use it for your project. So now what you will submit to me back? The Google form that you have created, the data sets that you have collected through the Google form, and the Python, the coding that you have done to visualize the effect, all those things, and the chart or the graph that you have made, and the full detailed report. And then after that, you have to present it. And you can have a discussion or a reflection based on this. What is your personal reflection? How then we will have the evaluation, how you have made it, and we will having the evaluation. So how it will be, the assessment rubrics, how it will be for you. For a problem identification, data collection, data pre-processing, EDA, everything will be separately evaluated. And the reflection questions, what you have to answer, how you will be able to answer this, that what was the biggest challenge, what surprised you while collecting after seeing this, how did this AI help you, okay, so what would you improve now. So all those things you need to be able to understand, and you need to be able to answer it. So before coming to the class, complete this all this task. So watch this, make this Google form a group, think of one real world problem. So you just sit in a group and make everything and prepare for the assignment instructions. So welcome to the classroom. Remember, in the classroom, we are not going to spend time to listen to the theory. What we are going to do, we are going to design a survey, and then we are going to collect it, clean it, process it, and we are going to present it. So let's transform data into decision. Let's become data scientist and data analyst. Thank you.